Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Serving High-Quality Meals in Summer Meal Programs webinar presented by the Pennsylvania Department of Education, Division of Food and Nutrition, in collaboration with Project PA. I'm Elaine McDonald, coordinator of Project PA, and I'll moderate today's webinar. First, a few pieces of housekeeping. We'll take questions following today's presentation. You can type your questions into the chat box at any time, and we'll collect the questions and save them until the end of the presentation. The chat box is on the right-hand side of the screen. Type in the small box at the bottom and hit enter, and your question will appear. There are a few items you can download from the file share box, which is now in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Today's slides are available in two formats. The document titled Summer Meal Slides contains one slide per page. Summer Meals Handouts contains 3 slides per page, and this is the smaller document. You'll also find in the file share box a USDA Summer Meals handout. We are recording today's webinar, and we'll post the audio from the webinar along with the presentation and the Q&A on the Project PA website. We have 4 people with us today from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Our presenters are Jenny Edmondson and Kathleen Hiltwine, Public Health Nutrition Consultants at the Division of Food and Nutrition. And also standing by to address any questions you might have along with Jenny and Kathleen are Mary Ringenberg, Education Administration Specialist with the Summer Food Service Program, and Diane DeBullis, Nutrition Education and School Nutrition Program Manager at the Division of Food and Nutrition. So with that, I will pull up the presentation and we will get started. Okay, I'll turn it over to Jenny and Kathleen.
Thank you, Elaine. Good morning, everyone. Our slides are taking a second to load on our end, so here we go. Good morning and welcome to today's webinar, Serving High-Quality Meals in Summer Meal Programs, presented by the Division of Food and Nutrition at PDE. Our goal at the Child Nutrition Programs is to help children learn, grow, and stay healthy. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about strategies and resources to improve the quality of meals served in summer food. This webinar will provide tips and best practices and highlight a variety of available resources. To start, we'll discuss what makes a meal high quality and some best practices that sponsors can follow. Next, we'll discuss how to incorporate local foods into menus and farm-to-summer activities to further improve the quality of your meals and make your site amazing. We will also go over a variety of resources that you may find helpful when looking to improve the quality of the meals you serve and engage the children you serve in fun and educational activities. The Summer Food Service Program and the National School Lunch Program's Seamless Summer Option were established to ensure that children continue to receive nutritious meals when school is not in session. These summer meal programs play a vital role in alleviating food insecurity and hunger, as well as helping children learn, grow, and stay healthy. Serving meals that are high quality is important for 2 main reasons. First, offering meals that children enjoy can help summer sites increase and retain participation levels. Remember, in summer, if kids like the food being served, they're more likely to come back. Second, offering meals that are nutritious can help children build healthy eating habits that may continue into adulthood. For many children, the meal you offer may be the one nutritious meal they eat the entire day. This makes it even more important that summer meals contain as many essential nutrients as possible that children need to grow and be healthy. Many of you may be asking yourself, what is a high-quality meal? A high-quality meal is one that is appealing and appetizing to the children being served, and it is nutritious. There are a variety of ways to make a meal high quality. You should focus on areas to improve quality that are feasible for you and for your site. Let's first walk through some ideas to make the meal appealing and appetizing to kids. It's important to offer variety and choices in your meals. Serve meals with some variety throughout the summer so children don't get tired of the meals. Kids, like adults, do like to see familiar foods at mealtime, but too much of the same thing can get boring. The goal is to keep kids coming back all summer long, and adding something fun or special to your menu can really get your program participants excited to come back for more. In addition, provide choices at each meal for children to pick from. Research shows that kids are more likely to eat foods when they choose to put them on their plates. Providing a variety of food choices increases the likelihood that children will select foods they prefer. This means more nutritious foods being eaten and less waste. Next, offer menus that are visually appealing. Include different colors and textures when planning your menus. Remember, we eat with our eyes first. Children especially find colorful foods appealing. So picture the foods you plan to offer, and then think about adding additional colors to the menu for more visual appeal. Try and avoid too many food items that are the same or a similar color. For example, think about how a meal of macaroni and cheese, corn, and a banana looks on the plate. Visually, the meal would look pretty much the same color, right? Adding some bright green broccoli or juicy red strawberries would make the presentation much more enticing. To improve the appeal of a meal, you can prepare and serve hot meals when the appropriate food service equipment is available. Even in the summer, children enjoy hot meals on occasion. The entire meal does not need to be hot, even just one hot item. For example, a menu could include a hot panini sandwich, apple slices, salad, and milk. Another example is offering a hot vegetable, like sweet corn, served with a cold sandwich, fruit, and milk. Serving a hot item can really make the meal seem special to the children you serve. As a backup option, have a popular cold sandwich available in case your hot items run out. Of course, serving hot items is not always possible at all summer sites. Sites that have limited facilities for food preparation can still be very successful in serving high-quality meals that are cold by serving a variety of cold meals and sandwiches. Offer meals that are culturally and age-appropriate. For example, if your summer site is in an area that serves a large ethnic population, it is advantageous to offer meals and foods that are appropriate for that ethnic population. Sponsors also need to think about the ages of the children they are serving and the foods they enjoy. For example, children prefer fruits and vegetables cut into pieces so they are easier to eat by hand and chew. Whole apples can be cut into slices, and oranges can be cut into orange smiles for better appeal, for example. Baby-cut carrots and dip are another example of a vegetable finger food that is easier to eat and is well-liked by kids. Teens with braces and elementary school children with loose or missing teeth will really appreciate fruits and vegetables that are easier for them to eat. Now let's move on to the next part of a high-quality meal, nutritious foods. As much as possible, sponsors should purchase and serve foods that align with My Plate and the recommendations of the 2015 Dietary Guidelines for Americans, such as serving more nutrient-dense foods. Nutrient-dense foods are the basis of a healthful eating pattern and include foods such as whole grains, vegetables, fruits, legumes and beans, lean proteins, and dairy products prepared without added fats, sugar, and sodium. Nutrient-dense foods also typically have more fiber, more essential nutrients, and keep kids feeling fuller longer than refined grains and juices do. Some best practices for the grains breads component of summer meals include providing at least 2 servings of whole grains per day. Sponsors can use the nutrition facts label to select and serve cereals with the lowest amount of sugar per serving, and we'll show you an example of this in just a moment. Instead of serving grain-based desserts that typically contain plenty of added sugar and solid fats, offer more whole and cut-up fruit instead. Some examples of grain-based desserts to serve less often include cakes, cookies, brownies, fruit turnovers, sweet rolls, and donuts. So how can you select and serve whole grains? First, you can select foods that have the Whole Grain Council stamp on the product label, which is shown at the bottom of the slide. You can also check the ingredients list on the food package to see if the food is made from whole grains. Look for the word whole before the name of the grain, and pick food items that list whole grain as the first ingredient on the list. Or, if water is the first ingredient, look for whole grain as the second ingredient. Some examples of whole grain ingredients are whole wheat, whole grain corn, and white whole wheat. Remember, the ingredient wheat flour simply means regular white flour and is not a whole grain. It has to say whole wheat flour to indicate whole grain. And also, don't forget other whole grains that don't require the word whole, like brown rice, oatmeal, and quinoa. Often, you can make simple swaps in your menu by using whole grain versions of breads and other grain items that you already use in your menus. Some examples of swaps you can make include swapping brown rice for white rice, using corn or whole wheat tortillas instead of white tortillas, or serving whole wheat bread in place of white bread. This table shows some additional ways you can substitute whole grain-rich items in place of some of the refined grains in your menus. A good tip when selecting cereals is to choose cereals with 6 grams of sugar or fewer per serving. The cereal example showed on this slide is a win-win because it is lower in sugar and the first ingredient is whole grain oats, a great menu choice. Some meat and meat alternate best practices include offering a variety of different protein foods throughout the week, such as lean meats, fish, legumes, and nuts. To reduce choking hazard, always chop nuts finely before serving and spread nut butters thinly. Some examples of lean proteins include lean ground meat, preferably labeled 90% lean or higher, pork loin and tenderloin, fish options like tuna and tilapia, and skinless chicken or turkey breast. Eggs are an excellent protein source and can be offered in a variety of ways. And don't forget to offer vegetarian meat alternates, including legumes such as garbanzo beans added to salads, black bean and corn salsa for tacos, and of course peanut butter or sunflower seed butter on sandwiches. Keep it fun by adding themes to summer meals, such as a Southwestern lunch with bean and vegetable chili and cornbread. Offer healthier protein choices by serving processed meats and poultry, like hot dogs, bologna, pepperoni, and sausages, no more than 1 time per week. Processed meats and poultry are typically high in sodium, fat, and preservatives. Studies show that diets lower in processed meats are associated with lower risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and other negative health outcomes. When selecting canned items, select products labeled low sodium or no salt added. Hard, healthy fish like tuna and salmon packed in water, and low-fat refried beans. When low-sodium options aren't available, always drain the liquid and rinse to reduce the sodium. Choose low-fat or reduced-fat cheeses and yogurt. You can get children excited about yogurt by letting them build their own yogurt parfaits. Just like a salad bar, set up toppings for children to add to their yogurt. Some toppings may include diced fruits, such as apples, banana, mango, kiwi, or melon, and crunchy whole grain-rich granola. Some best practices for vegetables and fruits include varying the vegetables and fruits served throughout the week. Aim to offer vegetables from each of the vegetable subgroups during the week. We often think of this as offering a rainbow of different colors of vegetables. Different colored vegetables not only offer a greater variety of vitamins and minerals, but they also provide powerful phytonutrients that studies link to lower risk of some diseases. The vegetable subgroups include dark green vegetables, red and orange vegetables, beans and peas, also called legumes, starchy vegetables, and the other vegetable group, which includes vegetables like celery, summer squash, and green beans. Colorful fruits and vegetables also add to the visual appeal that we talked about earlier. You can offer more filling meals by adding extra vegetables to the menu. If you have the facilities to prepare foods on-site, try tossing colorful peppers, spinach, or cherry tomatoes into pasta, or adding some broccoli, snap peas, or mushrooms to a stir-fry. Serve a variety of fruits and choose fresh, frozen, canned, or dried fruits more often than juice. Although fruit juice can be a part of a healthy eating pattern, it is lower in dietary fiber than whole or cut-up fruit, and when consumed in excess, juice can contribute extra calories. Whole and cut-up fruits are also more filling than juice. During the summer, you can get creative and try fruits that are in season during the summer months, like melons, berries, and cherries. Also, try some tropical fruits that are in season in summer, like kiwis or mangoes. Make at least one of the 2 required components of snack a fruit or vegetable. Try serving carrots with peanut butter, fresh or frozen mango with yogurt, or apple slices with cheese. Children who consume dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheese get many important nutrients and have healthier diets than those who don't. Dairy foods provide children with nutrients such as protein, calcium, vitamin D, and potassium, and they help build strong bones, teeth, and muscles in growing children. Low-fat, 1% or less, and fat-free milks contain the same nutrients as higher-fat milk, but are lower in saturated fats, and can be more appealing to children in summer as a lighter beverage on hot days. Unflavored milk is recommended because it contains no added sugar, and the dietary guidelines recommend limiting added sugars because they add calories without adding any nutrients. Ice-cold milk can be a refreshing and nutritious beverage choice on hot days. Remember to maintain proper temperature logs and adhere to your food safety procedures for milk and for all the other items served in your meals. When planning your summer menu, it is important to consider the amount of sodium or salt, solid fats, and added sugars that may be in the foods you serve. Nearly everyone benefits from eating foods with less sodium because on average, blood pressure goes up with increased sodium intake. Most sodium comes from processed and ready-to-eat foods, which typically come in cans, jars, packages, and boxes. Offering less processed foods, such as chicken breast instead of chicken nuggets, or fresh vegetables instead of canned vegetables, is a good way to help kids reduce sodium intake and stay healthy. Choose fresh fruits when possible, and check nutrition facts labels to compare packaged and canned foods and choose the ones with lower sodium. You can use fresh summer herbs, like basil or cilantro, or salt-free dried herb blends to add flavor to foods without adding extra sodium. Americans also consume too many foods that are high in solid fats. Solid fat simply means that the fats are solid at room temperature and are higher in saturated or trans fats. These are the fats that can clog our arteries and increase blood cholesterol levels. Solid fats are found in the milk fat and milk and butter, in beef, chicken, and pork fat, stick margarine, and shortening. So what can you do? Offer children fewer foods that are high in solid fats. Replace solid fats with healthier liquid oils from plants, like canola, olive, safflower, and sunflower oils, and serve fish, which contains healthier fats. Check labels for 0 grams of trans fats, and look at the ingredients list for products that do not list hydrogenated oils. Although sugar is found naturally in fruits, milk, and yogurt, the majority of sugars in typical American diets are added sugars. Added sugars are often called empty calories because they add calories to the diet without offering nutrients. The extra calories from added sugars make it harder for children to grow at a healthy weight and can replace nutrient-rich foods that kids need. Sugar also increases the risk for cavities. Soda, fruit drinks, cakes, pies, cookies, dairy desserts, and candy are the major sources of added sugars for children and adolescents 2 to 18 years old. Check ingredient lists for added sugars, including high fructose corn syrup, white or brown sugar, honey, molasses, corn syrup solids, fruit juice concentrates, or other sugars such as maltose and fructose. Choose foods that do not list added sugars among the first 3 ingredients in the ingredient list. And finally, here are some additional best practices you may choose to implement. Make water available as an additional beverage with the meal. For extra appeal, you could try adding washed sliced fruit, such as sliced lemons, limes, or berries, fresh mint, or cucumbers to ice water for a tasty twist, plus visual appeal. Offer children who participate in the summer meal program the opportunity to sample menu items and give their feedback on special taste test days. Taste testing activities are great because they introduce children to new foods in a fun and positive way. Consider offering meals for parents or guardians so they feel welcome too. Program policy permits meals to be sold to parents and caregivers, also known as non-program adults, at cost. Summer food sponsors who don't want to charge parents directly for the meals could join forces with a community partner that reimburses the program for the cost of the adult meals. This could be planned and promoted at a special Caregivers Day event, which would allow parents and caregivers to sit and enjoy lunch with their children and enhance the appeal of the feeding site as a family gathering spot. Finally, incorporate seasonal and locally produced foods into meals for the freshest and highest quality menu items. Summer is prime growing season in Pennsylvania, so you have a great opportunity for some farm to summer activities. Kathleen is going to talk more about farm to summer now.
There are numerous benefits to bringing the farm to summer meal sites. Sponsors can increase participation by improving the quality of meals and keeping kids and teens nourished and engaged through hands-on activities while school is out. Local foods are often the freshest and highest quality foods and are typically more affordable and more accessible when in season. And serving local foods provides a great opportunity to align the meal with activities that help children understand where their food comes from. When we talk about buying local, what exactly does that mean? It's up to each individual sponsor to define what local means for them, and there are many ways to define local. Local can be within a certain radius, such as within 25 miles, or it can mean within a county, within a state, or within a specific region. There is great flexibility in defining local. Sponsors may modify the definition of local depending on the season, product, or for special events. Of course, in summertime, we think about local fresh fruits and vegetables, but local foods can span the entire plate. Think about dairy, grains, and proteins in addition to produce. Sponsors around the country have been successful in serving local foods throughout their summer menus, serving nutritious items, and marketing their program at the same time. When local foods are used in a menu, it is great to highlight the farm, state, or region that produced item that's on the menu. Some examples include Pete's Local Greens, or Webster's Farms Crisp Apple Slices, or Pennsylvania Grown Watermelon. Adding descriptors of any kind to a menu can help increase the appeal of a meal and get kids excited to eat the food. This is also great PR for your summer program. So how does a sponsor find local foods? There are many sources and not just one right answer. Sponsors can source local foods directly from a farm, through a distributor, through a food service management company, from a food hub or farmer's market, through a community-supported agriculture or CSA, and by using garden produce. Sponsors may find that one or a number of these sources work for them in finding and buying local foods. If you would like to buy local, you can start by finding out what local products you might already be serving by asking your vendor where your food is coming from. You can then identify what's in season and think about items you could possibly purchase from your region. The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture has a seasonality chart that is specific to our state, and the Project PA website, which is also the Farm to School website for Pennsylvania, lists other helpful resources for finding local foods. Also, the resources section in PAIR's download forms includes a list of seasonal crops in PA and other farm to summer resources. In purchasing foods for your programs, sponsors can communicate a preference for local items. You can specify local varieties in your solicitations or include a preference for products that meet your definition of local. However, remember that sponsors cannot require local foods in their solicitations and must comply with their procurement regulations and maintain fair and open competition. Here is just a small section of Pennsylvania's seasonal produce calendar. You can view this chart and utilize other very helpful search tools on the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture's PA Preferred website. PA Preferred is a public-private partnership between the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture and many companies throughout the Commonwealth. The program utilizes the PA Preferred logo, which you see in the bottom left-hand corner of the slide, to assist in identifying and purchasing products made in PA. And it is one way to purchase locally grown and produced products. As you know, federal law requires free and open competition during procurement for federal programs such as the Summer Food Service Program and the Seamless Summer Option. More information about local procurement is available in USDA's Local Procurement Guide. The link is on the screen. Specific tips for summer meals operators are included in the guide. Also, please refer to the procurement section on PAIR's download forms for additional procurement guidance. Research studies have shown that kids will eat more fruits and veggies when they have access to a variety of high-quality fresh items. Research also shows that children are more likely to eat fruits and vegetables if they participate in educational activities related to those foods. Including complementary activities at summer sites make it more likely that even those picky eaters will try and enjoy the healthier items that are served. Some ideas include grow or visiting edible gardens, organizing farm field trips or inviting a local farmer as a special guest to your site, hosting cooking demonstrations and lessons that teach families how to prepare meals with local ingredients, conducting a taste test or a cooking contest with various seasonal and local products, sending home newsletters and recipes, and consider your site selection, perhaps locating your summer meal site at a local farmer's market where you can tap into those existing activities and resources. For those of you interested in doing a taste test at your site, please check out the handout titled Offering Healthy Summer Meals That Kids Enjoy, which is available to download along with your webinar slides today. The handout has a taste test ballot that you can use for kids to offer their feedback on a new food item that they've tried. This is the URL for USDA's Farm to Summer webpage, which we certainly encourage you to check out for a variety of farm to summer resources. Next, we would like to let you know about a wealth of promotional and nutrition education resources available for free online from Team Nutrition. Team Nutrition is an initiative of USDA's Food and Nutrition Service. It supports the child nutrition programs through training and technical assistance for food service, nutrition education for children and their caregivers, and school and community support for healthy eating and physical activity. The goal of Team Nutrition is to improve children's lifelong eating and physical activity habits through nutrition education based on the principles of the Dietary Guidelines for Americans and MyPlate. Team Nutrition, or TN, also provides many free nutrition education materials that the public can access through its website. Schools that participate in one of the child nutrition programs, like the Summer Food Service Program, can also request free printed copies of materials for their programs by using the order form on the website, as long as they sign up online as a Team Nutrition school. You can click on the resource library to view and download materials, and TN schools can use the order form to request free printed copies of materials while supplies are in stock. And if your summer site is not a Team Nutrition school, there is another way to order printed copies of Team Nutrition resources. Centers and other nonprofit organizations that participate in the Summer Food Service Program can order materials through USDA's online order form located at the web address at the bottom of the screen. So why are your summer meal sites such important venues for nutrition education? Research shows that children consume fewer fruits and vegetables and more added sugar and watch more television during the summer months. Therefore, many children experience rapid gains in body mass index, or BMI, during the summer compared to throughout the school year. Research has also shown that offering activities at summer meal sites is a promising strategy for increasing participation in summer meal programs. And of course, kids are drawn to games, challenges, food preparation, and food tasting activities. So for those reasons, Team Nutrition offers a variety of resources that can be used to introduce fun, easy, and nutrition-focused activities and messages at summer meal sites. We'd like to take a few minutes to show you some of the resources available from Team Nutrition on the next few slides. Earlier this year, Team Nutrition released new educational materials designed specifically for summer meal programs. Summer Food, Summer Moves is a dynamic and flexible resource kit for summer meal program operators. It includes an operator activity guide with nutrition education activities and kid-friendly recipes, 7 educational posters, 6 types of promotional flyers, and an activity placemat, and a set of 6 different educational handouts for parents. The kit is designed to be used in a variety of summer meal sites, ranging from parks to schools to community or church-based settings. Team Nutrition also offers an infographic and a brochure that schools and community groups can distribute to parents to increase awareness of the importance of healthy food choices and physical activity during the summer months. Printed copies of all three of these resources are available while supplies last, so order yours today if you're interested. They are available in both English and Spanish, and you can view them at the website listed on this slide. You want to simply click on the resource order form on the left side of the page to order copies for your summer site. Team Nutrition offers a variety of free downloadable graphics that can be used on your summer meal site menus, newsletters, websites, signs, labels, and stickers. You can see some of those on this slide. There are a variety of posters available to encourage children to make healthy food choices. These fun posters can be used to decorate your summer meal site, to make the site more appealing, and to deliver a nutrition message to children and families who attend. In addition to some full-size posters, the mini poster at the top left corner is available in 8.5 by 11 size. It features the My Plate icon on one side and the 5 food groups on the other. This mini poster may also be used as a handout. Team Nutrition's Discover My Plate student workbook is filled with handouts that can be used to get kids thinking about the 5 food groups and how to build a healthy plate. These pages are easily reproduced. In addition, the workbook activities meet educational standards for literacy, letter-sound correspondence, counting, sequencing, identifying healthy behaviors, and more. These look and cook recipes from Discover My Plate are great for helping kids follow along with simple food prep activities. They are also in English on one side and Spanish on the other, and can be a great addition to summer meal programs that would like to add cooking demos to their site activities. The Team Nutrition Popular Events Idea Booklet is all about finding fun ways to engage parents and kids in nutrition and physical activity efforts. Many of the activities in the Popular Events Booklet can be tailored to summer meal sites kickoff or spike events throughout the summer months. In the booklet, you will find some creative ideas and how-to instructions for 20 themed events, as well as reproducible handouts and taste testing ballots that kids can use to share their feedback on meals and snacks. A variety of events, both large and small, are included to meet your site's needs and resources. So in addition to the Team Nutrition resources, there are also some new resources for promoting nutrition and summer food to tell you about. PDE has compiled a brief, handy document with quick tips called Serve High-Quality Meals. You can find this on pairs, download forms in the SFSP resources section. In addition to other SFSP handbooks, USDA recently updated their nutrition guide for sponsors. This new edition includes the meal quality best practices that we outlined for you today, tips on how to purchase local foods and new menus, including one that incorporates local foods and one that breaks down the cost per serving of a high-quality menu. If you haven't already checked out the nutrition guide, I would highly encourage you to take a look. It contains some excellent information and is really an invaluable resource for your program. And I believe that concludes our presentation. I'll put our contact information up so that if you come across any questions after the presentation, you can contact us.
Thank you, Jenny and Kathleen. That was great. I don't see that any questions have come in, and it doesn't appear that anyone is typing a question in, so I guess we're ready to wrap up. Any final comments from PDE before we close?
No, I think we're good, Elaine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today.